Today I will be showing you different strategies for multiplication. We're going to start with estimation. I'm going to be using friendly numbers. My equation here is 40 times 15. I like 40, so I'm going to leave it as is. But I'm going to change my 15 to 20 because it's easier to work with. So now when I look at this equation, I'm going to pretend the zeros aren't there right now. So I'm going to think of it more as 4 times 2, which I know is 8. But now remembering my place value, I'm putting my zeros back, and my answer is 800. My next strategy for multiplication will be using the base 10 blocks. So here I've drawn my axes, and ideally you would want to be using actual base 10 blocks, but I don't have enough, so I've just drawn them. But now I'm going to do 1 rod times 1 rod equals a flat. And then 1 rod times my other rod, so flat. And do that 2 more times, we have 4 flats. And now we're going to be doing our units. So a unit times a rod equals a rod. And you're going to be doing that all the way down. A unit times a rod, a unit times a rod, 5 times. And now you're going to move on to this rod. So this rod times that unit 5 times, go all the way down. And your next unit times a rod. And your last unit times a rod. Okay, so now I'm going to look at what I have, and I see that I have a bunch of rods that I can condense into flats. So 10 rods makes a flat, and these 10 rods make a flat. And I'm left with 6 flats, which is 600. So 40 times 15 equals 600. So now we will be using a pictorial strategy for our multiplication equation of 40 times 15. These sticks are representing my 10's place value, and the dots are representing my 1's place value. So a stick times a stick equals a 100, so it's going to turn into a square or similar to our flat. So it's going to be a stick times a stick times a stick all the way down, so you should be left with 4 squares. Now I'm going to do a stick times a dot, which is going to turn into a stick. And it's going to be a stick times a dot, stick times dot the whole time. So I'm going to have 5 sticks 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So now I can see what my answer is. Kind of, almost. Now we need to regroup our sticks into groups of 10. So I know this is 5 and this is 5. So that makes 10, which turns it into a flat. I put my sticks into groups of 10, turn them into squares, because I know that 10 sticks equals a square. So now I am left with 6 squares, which I know is equals. For my personal strategy for multiplication, I'm going to be using halving and doubling. So I look at my equation, it's 40 times 15. Now I need to pick one side to half the whole time and one side to double the whole time. I can't have 15 into a nice number, so I am going to have 40 and I'll be doubling 15. So Half of 40 is 20, and 15 doubled is 30. This is nicer, but I'm going to go even a bit lower. I'm going to half 20 into 10, and I'm going to double 30 into 60. So now with this new equation, I'm going to pretend my zeros aren't there at the moment, and I'm just going to do 1 times 6, which I know is 6. And I'm going to bring back my zeros into their place value, and I get 600.